federal government has at times surrendered our national sovereignty to foreign powers and is proposing to give ultimate authority over health issues in this nation to the World Health Organization. Our federal and state governments have failed to provide elections.
All right, he's here.
The 1776 Restoration Movement demands accountability for these and many other unconstitutional actions. We believe that
I saw what you was doing.
fathers understood this and the need for a moral society to ensure the enduring success of our republic. We value integrity.
Black Ops America. Black Ops America. How you see that?
Wyckoff.
White Ops.
Around the globe have always used to take away our freedom. We wish to reclaim
Y'all see this fella right here? Y'all go follow him. Okay. Look. That right there is his YouTube channel. Right there. Wyckoff's America or Nikki Love. Yeah, y'all go follow this fella right here. He's kind of ugly. Don't worry, I got him beat. I'm more ugly.
We need to restore a constitutional balance of power that limits the authority of the federal government and recognizes the proper chain of authority granted to the people.
Yeah, I just figured I'd give y'all another quick sight of where we're sitting at before I went to bed, because I'm running security tonight. So a lot of cars, a lot of people, but we need more. So come on down and join us. Well, yeah, I'm running security tonight, so I got to find me a good place to kick up and relax. I think I'm gonna come out here and lean up against this tree and go to sleep. Oh, there we go. Crap. I'm dropping my stuff already. Lord have mercy. I keep breaking this. I ain't gonna be live streaming much longer. There we go. Alrighty, let's see. Let's see here. There we go. Evening, y'all. Oh, it's a beautiful night. It is a beautiful night. I'm actually thinking about throwing my picnic blanket out here and going and sleeping out here tonight. Beats the car. I've had people ask me, why am I sleeping in a car? Am I homeless? No, I'm not homeless. I live in Virginia. I got a queen size bed at home. The reason I'm living out of a car right now is because I'm fighting for my rights. Take my house, my car, my money, take anything I own. It can all be replaced. It's materialistic. Freedoms can't be replaced. That's just the gist of it. Did a stream a little while ago for our evening meeting, and I had a guy ask me why everybody that's out here in this movement is old and fat. Because the old and fat ones are the only ones that remember this country for what it used to be. Free. You ain't got freedom anymore. Shining example. Here in the National Mall in DC, if we've got more than 25 people in our group protesting, we are required to have a permit. We applied for that permit. They said no. They pretty much told us, no, you're not allowed to protest. Go home. That violates the First Amendment. We got this idiot, Joe Biden, on National Hill, or Capitol Hill, sorry, wanting to take your guns. That violates the Second Amendment. And so on and so forth. But they've been slowly taking your rights over decades. I'll explain. In 1913, when the Democratic Party took over the House, they radicalized the Constitution, giving themselves the power to impose taxes on your earned income and anything else they saw fit. Since then, they have imposed taxes on everything, forcing you to pay them just to exist. That is slavery. Violates the 14th Amendment, which clearly states that no man shall be thrown into slavery without being first found guilty of a vicious and violent crime in a court of law. I've never been found guilty of such a crime, so we were put on this earth to pick a patch of dirt, build a house, raise a family, be happy. You're not allowed to do that unless you pay them. And if you don't pay them, they're going to come, throw you in jail, and take what you do have. Oh, I know it's both sides. That's why I'm not Democrat or Republican. I vote for who I think is best for my country. I'm an independent. Because both sides are guilty of this. And what's a shame to say is, as myself, as an American, I allowed this to happen. You allowed this to happen. Because no one stood up to them before they got this powerful. Federal government's supposed to be small. State government's supposed to rule. That's what a constitutional republic is. That's not how it is. Federal government has taken all the power from the state. Montana, I'll give you an example. Montana said, we're not going to have a speed limit. Federal government said, you will have a speed limit or you will not get federal funding to fix your roads. Montana said, okay, we got a speed limit. That right there violates the U.S. Constitution, because the Constitution states that all states have the right to govern themselves. Federal government's not allowing them to do that. But here's the kicker though. If you look at your paycheck, every time you get paid, a big chunk of that goes to federal taxes, which first goes to them so they can take what they want and put in their pockets. Then it goes back to your state. That's where they get you. In order for the state to get that money back, they got to do what the federal government tells them. Yeah, I know a lot of American citizens don't pay attention because they've got their nose buried in the phone 24/7. They use technology to show you one thing while they're doing another. And it's really sad. A lot of people want to know what's wrong with our kids today. Parents give them a tablet, a cell phone, just to keep them quiet.
I was just going to say, just know when you're going to say it.
Oh, okay. Love you too, baby. But no, they give their kids tablets and cell phones just to keep them quiet and keep them out of their hair. And they don't have the first clue of what they're looking at on these things. They're online. You're not standing over their shoulder telling them, that's not how you treat people. You don't talk to people like that. That's wrong. So they grow up believing that all this stuff is right. This is how they come out in the world treating people. This is why kids are the way they are today. There's no such thing as bad kids, only bad parents. You want to have good kids? Raise your kids. Don't let a cell phone do it. Don't let a tablet do it. Don't let the internet do it, period. Teach them. I have actually done a test of 100 kids under the age of 25, and none of them know their constitutional rights. They don't know our national anthem. They don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. This is not being taught in our schools anymore. It's pathetic. When I grew up, I remember when I was in elementary school, we'd go outside every morning before school started. We'd say the Pledge of Allegiance. We'd pray. You don't do that anymore. Back then, we didn't have school shootings. This country has gone decades upon decades upon decades with no school shootings until the 90s. Now, we're going to get to the Second Amendment, okay? Capitol Hill says guns are the problem. Over the last 20 years, it has gotten harder and harder for responsible gun owners like myself to buy a rifle, but yet there are more and more school shootings. If their gun laws and gun control actually worked, there'd be less school shootings. The only thing they've done is make it harder for responsible gun owners to buy guns when a criminal can go to a panel truck down on the corner in the ghetto somewhere and buy one off the back of a truck. Until they do away with illegal gun sales on the streets and the black market, your gun control laws do absolutely jack. You're right, Angela. It is people holding the gun that is the problem. You cannot control what a person's going to do with it. Everything in this world is a tool, including the gun. Example, I take a gun and shoot somebody with it. It's a weapon. However, if I'm a survivalist, if I'm in the woods and I get a deep cut that I can't get to stop bleeding, I pull my gun out, eject the mag, take a bullet out, take the bullet out of the casing, dump the gunpowder in the wound and light it. It cauterizes the wound. My gun is now a first aid kit. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. It's what you use it for defines what it is. Okay, now if you want to classify a gun as a weapon by the government's definition, then everything in this world is a weapon, including a pencil. You take a pencil, stick it in somebody's jugular, in their eye, it goes straight to the brain, under the armpits, any vital organ. Stick it between the ribs, it goes into the lungs, deflate the lungs, they suffocate. Everything in this world is a weapon if you know how to use it as a weapon. There's only one true weapon in this world: the human mind. Everything else is a tool. And I hate to tell Uncle Sam, you can't control free will. Therefore, you cannot control what people do with a gun. But you do not have the right to violate our U.S. Constitution. I'm willing to die for my country. How about you? I'm here. I'm standing up to a tyrant. Where's everybody else? They're hiding in their house. I understand that some people cannot mentally or physically come out here. But the ones that can, where are you at? You do not own anything that cannot be replaced. If it's materialistic, it can be replaced. Let it go. Come here and fight for your rights. They can't be replaced. When they're gone, they're gone. I want my kids to grow up in the world I did. Right now, they can't do that. I grew up riding in the bed of my father's truck, going down the road. Can't do that nowadays. They put me in jail for recklessly endangering my child's life, when in fact, I'm not the one that endangered his life. The idiot that doesn't know how to drive that hits me is the one that endangered my child's life. They're making laws to punish the innocent so the guilty stay free, simply because the ones making the laws are guilty themselves. They're making laws to protect themselves. Stand up. Fight for your rights. Because I can tell you right now, you don't fight for your rights, you don't fight to be free, you don't deserve to be free. So, I will be here for the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Y'all got any questions, just ask. I'll give you my opinion. Yeah, they do need better background checks for mental problems. However, most of the mental people, you'll never know they're mentally ill until they actually go off. Hi, Betty. Oh, on an up note, I did get a haircut. I ended up shaving the side of my head on both sides and the back into a V. Unfortunately, my hair is not long enough to braid all the way back, so. Yeah, I found out what the problem was, Betty. This is my first YouTube, this is my first streaming ever. The problem was I was trying to go live on an old account with credentials for my new account. So, I spent 4 days trying to figure that out. When it comes to technology, I'm stupid. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I prefer a wrench in a car, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm more of a car guy than a computer guy. But, oh, Fun fact, I just learned this today. I can tell you why our gas is so damn expensive. And I just learned this today. And these are the actual facts. The Keystone Pipeline that Joe Biden shut down supplies America with over 800,000 barrels of oil a day. 800,000 a day. The American population only uses 20,000 barrels a day. There is no oil shortage. This trader is trying to make gas so expensive that you have to sell your car to buy an electric car because his pockets are in the lithium batteries that power that car. Let's see. Yeah, yes, I did have damage on my truck from the police. They backed into the front end, busted my brand new fog light, and they beat the driver's side of my door with something black because now I've got black marks all over my driver's side door. So they will be paying to fix my truck and paint it. I got the same problem, Betty. Oh, I know. And back in March, Nancy Pelosi and her band of traitorous Democrats pushed through an order in the dead of night while everybody else was asleep to pay the government's bills. And amongst that order, there were two things hidden in it. One was a $18 billion package to go to Ukraine. How is sending $18 billion to Ukraine paying the government's bills? It's not. Another one was in order to give themselves a 21% pay increase. They already make $200,000 a year. 21% pay increase, that's another $42,000 a year. That's more than what most people make. But how's giving themselves a pay raise paying the bills? It's not. They snuck these in there because weeks prior to this order, the package they wanted to send to Ukraine was shut down. And they couldn't do it. So they hid it in this order to do it, which is illegal. Yeah, I just got it. I just got my link set up today. So. I am angry. I am angry. Look at what they've done to my country. They've enslaved its people. They've caused so much to go up in price that it's not funny. I drive a semi, OTR. That means over the road. I'm owner-operator. I was forced to shut down. It used to cost me between $400 and $600 to fill my truck up to take groceries to the grocery store for you to buy for your family, clothes, cars, car parts. This is all the stuff I used to deliver. I delivered everything. I was forced to shut down because I started losing money because my fuel bill went from $400 to $600 every time I fill up to over $1,200 to fill up my truck. This is why when you go into Walmart, half the shelves are empty. Trucks are shutting down because they can't afford to pay for the fuel. You've got thousands of trucks sitting at dealerships right now that can't get parts.
Night, Brian.
Night.
See you next time. Whoops, I can't even high five right.
But so yeah, I'm angry. I am angry. The government claims that there's a food shortage. No, there's not. Okay, I grew up in it. I grew up and still live in a farming community, and there are farmers where I live at that have been fined for not dumping their crops back in 2020 when Joe Biden told them to. Okay? You can go back and find newsreels where dairy farmers are dumping thousands of gallons of milk because these traders on Capitol Hill told them to, because they were afraid they would have more in supply than was being demanded, which would cause the price to go down. Now look at it. Since they dumped all that stuff, stores are empty. You're right. Joe Biden wasn't president, but those orders didn't come from a president. They came from the House. Nancy Pelosi. You know, come to think of it, everything that's happened since the 80s that's gone wrong in this country, Pelosi has had her hands in. Take, for instance, December 7th, 1984, a woman bombed the White House trying to kill Republicans. She was sentenced to prison for life for terrorism and treason. She was later pardoned by Democratic President Bill Clinton. This woman is now CEO of BLM. These same BLM going across the country burning cities. Let that one resonate in your brain. And if you don't believe me, go look it up, because I can prove it. They are putting traitors in CEO positions to cause death and destruction in this country, and yet we're the only ones standing up to them. And almost everybody in this movement is elderly. Where are all of the young people that claim to be patriots? Huh? Everybody claims to be a patriot till it's time to do patriot shit. Then they all run and hide. You really want to do something? You really want your freedom back? You really want your country back? Then stand up. Come to DC, to the National Park, right here at the National Mall, and join us. Don't let these tyrants win. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm willing to die for my country, my flag, and my Constitution. Therefore, I will rather die on my feet than serve on my knees. And if you can't be with that, that's your problem. Have fun being a slave. Let's see, we went from $40 a week to $80 a week for gas. Yep, that's about right. Everything doubled. Oh, I know it's true, but I've got to get some sleep, and I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good night.